Hello, everybody, and welcome to BJ's Esoteric Musings. I am BJ, and as you know, I've been gone for a bit, and I do so apologize, but I think you all understand as we've been going through this since the first of the year and lots of things going on. Um, I mostly just wanted to pop on today because I've been having a lot of technical issues with everything from my phone to computers. So I'm just doing a check mostly to see how this is going because I do have things I want to talk about, and I probably will do that tomorrow if this presents well and the sound and everything is doing okay. Like I say, a lot of interesting things going on at the moment. So um, I can tell you that oh gosh, in the first 5 months of this year, I've already lost two very dear cousins that have passed away. They're some of the older cousins that we have, but still hard loss. One we lost in February and the other one about 2 weeks ago. Um, and so there's been that. There's been lots of health issues for loved ones, near and dear. Uh, My daughter moved um, at the end of April, and it was all hands on deck to go to, she lives about 4 hours from us. So getting her brother and the grandsons, everybody together to go down and help her take care of that move, which I was just getting over a cold, and then I relapsed during that move because of a lot of stuff going on, which I'll spare you. But needless to say, yeah, it's been a lot. We've been rocking and rolling and just riding the currents like everyone else has. And just I've been doing a lot of journaling, um, speaking with my guides, getting ready for next steps, and I've been getting a wait, not yet message from them. And I've been chafing at the bit, like, "No, let's get back to it." So I think we're about there, and I'm going to introduce something, another adjunct on this uh, page, this channel, I should say. Um, I will get into the details of it, but it's going to be doing along the lines of things that we can do proactively to control those things in our world that seem so out of control. Um, just to tell you very quickly my background as far as education. In 1973, when I graduated from high school and started into college that fall, I determined that I wanted the term off grid wasn't a thing then. I just determined that I did not want to be reliant on anything if I could help it. So my goal when I got into college was to take courses like food storage and preservation. So in that class, I learned everything from canning, preserving, uh, dehydrating, fermentation to do like coleslaws, pickles, all of that. Um, so I had that course. Then I took a horticulture course where I learned to do grafting, pruning, all the things that you do to trees and all of that, and companion planting. I come from a family of very talented women who were quilters, crochet, all the handcrafts. So I I have a crafting room. I dearly love and enjoy doing crafts. That's a way for me to just let my mind ease and get into a project. I dearly love stones, so I do a lot with stone beads in combinations to help, which I give to friends and family and others who may need something to help aid them that they can wear on their day to day. So I do all of that and more that I'm going to talk about hopefully tomorrow. But I I just wanted to throw that out there to start getting some minds thinking about I might be interested in canning, learning how to do these things. I can tell you I've been a little rusty because I haven't done it now for, well, probably about a decade almost. The last time I had a big garden, it turned out it got infested by these little flat beetly things that are here in the Pacific Northwest. And I read up, how can I get rid of these things? And it said, pull up your garden. That's the only way. And I was like, ah, dang it. So we also are doing a little animal husbandry around here. We've just gotten 4 chicks that officially went out last week to uh, their coop outside. And so now they're bigger girls. And in a few more weeks, we'll probably start getting eggs. So we're just doing, like I say, being proactive, doing whatever we can do to manage those things around us. And I am very blessed that we live in farm country. So we have access to beautiful produce that at farm stands that literally some have taken their barns and converted them into a little grocery where you go in and just pick what you want of their produce and very inexpensive, especially considering prices at the grocery store right now. So those are some of the things that we're going to discuss, and hopefully I can get enough interest as I go back. I now have not only, I've always done the cold pack canning or the bath canning, whichever way you like to refer to it, but that is only good for jams, jellies, fruits, things like that. You really, for any root vegetables, meats, um, any kind of sauces, better to do those in a pressure canner. Well, I didn't want a big pressure canner because it's just my husband and I now, and I don't mind sharing the bounty of what I put together. But I still know I'm not going to make big, big batches. So I've got a perfect little pressure canner where you can divide it up so that you can do 4 to 6 jars of one thing and then something else that has the same time on it. You can go ahead and put down a little ring, then go to the next layer and do 6 of something else so that they all time out together. So lots of creative ways, and I don't mind sharing that. And if you don't mind seeing me kind of, it's a work in progress. So I might bumble through, but I'm willing to give it a go and share that knowledge if you guys are willing to watch those videos. And I've got a neighbor across the street. She is an avid canner. Uh, I call her a yard witch, garden witch, because she just plants everything that she develops from seed for the most part, and she just has beautiful yields every year. And she has 3 daughters. They're canners and they grow gardens. So I might get her to come over and help a little bit, keep it interesting. She's done a lot more. Uh, she makes these amazing beets that she does yearly, and she puts cinnamon in them, and they're so good. In fact, she brought me a jar the other day. Um, and then also breads. I've got a bread maker now that'll do smaller yields. So I'm going to be experimenting with doing our own breads. And I do have some vegan or alternative baking. In fact, yesterday I just made banana nut muffins, and you substitute the flaxseed in water instead of using eggs, for example. And so, any of those kinds of recipes, but we'll be talking a lot about um, food storage and preservation and how that works and demonstrating the canning processes on the various things. I know I'm going to be doing apricot jam this year as soon as they come on. My neighbor and I are going to be going to a store she's aware of just the next town over because we both want to do peaches. I dearly love peaches. Um, and so we'll definitely be putting up peaches this year. And my garden's going right now. I've got a big wine barrel full of strawberries that have already been giving us, 1 or 2 berries a day. I'm just waiting for them to see what kind of volume they'll produce, if there's enough for canning or if it's just for simply eating fresh, lovely, yummy, sweet strawberries. Um, I've got Walla Walla onions out there. I've got some herbs. I've got lettuces. I'm experimenting this year with melons. So I've got cantaloupe and I've got watermelon going. I've got several varieties of tomatoes. And same neighbor I was talking about brought me 3 tomato plants the other day. She says, "Will you take them?" I said, "Well, of course I will." She says, "My girls are just chock full and they don't want any more. And I hate," she goes, "I raised these from babies, from seeds, so I don't want to waste them." I said, "No, no, no, they're living things. We don't waste living things. I'll happily take them." So I've got those in the ground. Well, one of them, and I've got it now that the weather's cooperating a little bit. I'm going to get the other 2 in the ground this afternoon and get those going. I've got Walla Walla onions, the big, I think Outback is the one that does the bloomin' onion. That's what they use is the sweet Walla Wallas out of Washington. And she brought me a bunch. She had bought a big bunch of them and she planted as many as she could. And then she says, "I've got about 20 left. Do you want them?" I'm like, "Sure, I'll give it a go." And so I've got those out in the back. So, yeah, lots of fun things to look forward to. Hopefully, there's enough interest that I can do that. And of course, I will video them so that you can put them on at any time you want to watch. And then hopefully, lots of questions back and forth. And give us some direction if there's, as I say, other things that any of you are interested as far as sewing, handwork. I do. One of the other things I took in college was uh, furniture restoration and upholstery. I'm a big antiquer from the time I was a kid. One of my aunts and uncles had a wonderful antique shop up in San Francisco that we'd go to once in a while. And I, even as a little kid, I'd be crawling around between all the different rows to see all interesting things. And I think it was their shop that gave me the love of antiquing. So I do enjoy. In fact, I just restored 2 pieces in the last 3 or 4 weeks. So it's still something I do, and if that's of an interest, we can tackle that topic as well. So I thank you all for tuning in. I thank you for your patience. I hope you're all doing well. I just want to give blessings and prayers for the Bidens as they go through this time, and that's all I'll say on that. Um, but we'll talk later in the week. If not tomorrow, then Thursday. But I want to play this back now and see if it's recording okay, if it's coming through okay. Sometimes my room in here can get a little dark. And so I know when I'm talking with the 2 collaborators that we do Sovereignty of Souls together, we chat on WhatsApp quite a bit. And they'll say, "EJ, where are you? It's getting dark in there." So, yeah, I'm just testing everything out. And I'll just say bye for now, and we'll talk soon.